Hello everybody! So today I'm going to be showing you how to get this makeup look using the Morphe 335O palette. So first I'm starting off with a matte shade. It's a light cool toned shade in the palette. It is just a it's just a brown, cool brown. I can't remember where exactly it is on the palette, but I believe it's in the first couple of rows. And then this is just going to be my transition shade, so I'm taking my MAC 217 and just pretty much putting that all over my crease and a little bit onto my lid. And I'm not really being that neat with it. I am making it a little bit winged out, and so as you can see, I'm going to be going in with the same brush and using the really bright orange red from that palette, and I'm just putting this pretty much in the same exact spots, just a little bit lower, a little bit closer, as I like to do. Next, I'm taking this warm shade. You can't really see it, but my finger was pointing there. And this really small little brush. It's from Smashbox. I don't really know the name or anything. And I'm just putting that in my crease. And again, just a little bit closer, a little bit lower. And still forcing that like eyeshadow to be in a wing shape, like with a straight line. And I also go and clean it up with a makeup wipe, because it did get a little bit too messy for me. Next, I'm going in with that shade right there, and I am just placing that all over my lid. And then I'm using the same brush to blend it out with the darker color, just to, create that seamless blend. And then I'm going in with my ColourPop Bang & Brunette brow pencil, and I'm just filling in my brows. All I do is I line the bottom of it, go and fill in the sparse hairs usually in my tail, and then go to the front. Today was more of a natural brow looking day, so they weren't looking too like on point. They were just kind of filling in where I needed the extra help. Just so I feel like this makeup was pretty natural, for me at least. So then I'm just going in, blending that out with a spoolie that comes on the back of the brush. And then I'm using the light matte shade that's in the palette. It's the first shade in the palette. And I'm putting that under my brow bone and as my inner corner highlight. Okay. For face primer, I'm using the Makeup Forever Smoothing Primer. This primer is really good. And for foundation, I'm using my MAC Mineralized Foundation in the shade NC30. It matches me, finally, and it looks really light on camera, but it took me forever to build up the tan so that it actually properly matched me. And it makes me kind of sad that I just look as pale as before, but I'm using my Real Techniques buffing brush to buff that out, and I just dotted it all over my face using that brush. And yeah, I used my concealer and my foundation also to help wing it out, as you can see what I'm doing there underneath my eye. And for my forehead, I just have to pull my hair back so my foundation doesn't get in my hair. I'll go in between the brows, the huge. Next, I'm going with my Urban Decay Naked Weightless Complete Coverage Concealer. And then that I'm using the shade Light Warm like I did before. I probably should get a darker one because it's a bit light on me now. A bit too light for my personal preference. But I just put that in all the places underneath my eyes, on my chin, on my nose, on my cupid's bow, and on my forehead I'm putting the little triangle. I really don't put as much concealer anymore just because it is so light. And I'm using my Real Techniques, I think it's called the contour brush. 1 second, let me see. The contour brush. And I did use this to powder my eyes for a while, but then I think it isn't the exact one, but Tanya Burr and Zoella were talking about using, I think, the setting brush for their under eye concealer, so I thought that was close enough for me to be able to use that for my under eye concealer. I really like it. It's a cheap alternative to the Beauty Blender. You just can't go as ham with the product. You have to use a lighter hand while applying, just so that it doesn't, build up, because the Beauty Blender takes some away. This one doesn't really take as much away, so you have to be careful. And that's why I went so light with my concealer as well, because I knew I was going to be using this brush instead of a Beauty Blender, because I was too lazy to wet it. And next I'm going to be going in with my Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. I'm using the banana shade to highlight all over my face, and I'm just using a powder brush to set that. Next I'm going in with contour, and I think I took the lightest shade in the palette, but I think I mixed the two lighter shades in the palette to create my contour shade, because if I just go with the first one, it just looks a little bit too like gray on my skin tone now that I'm a bit tanner. And I'm just using my Clinique brush that I always use to do contour if I don't use my Hoola brush. And I'm just contouring my cheekbones, and then I go and contour my forehead, because I got a big old forehead. And then I go and I contour my chin, my jawline, because I got a double chin too. Got a wide face, big forehead, and a double chin. So I gotta contour a lot. And then next, I'm actually going to be bronzing. Oh, apparently no, I'm not going to be bronzing my skin. I'm actually going to be going back in with the Morphe eyeshadow palette. And I'm going to be mixing, I'm just going to be, not mixing, I'm just going to be taking the shade that I put in as my crease. And I'm taking this little Chanel packer brush. But it also, if you do it for your under eyes, it just kind of smokes it out, but just like slightly, so that it's not too over the top. It's pretty nice. I recommend it. I think every single brand has a brush like that. You don't have to spend the money on that Chanel brush even if the Chanel brush isn't around. I don't know. Next, I'm going in contouring my nose using just the middle shade from the Kat Von D palette. And I'm taking my Hoola bronzer brush to do that. That's how I like to do it. Kind of a little bit less sharp if I do it that way. And then next I'm going in with bronzer. I'm using the Park Avenue Park Avenue Princess bronzer from Tarte. I'm going in with the blush that comes with that palette. I have no idea what that blush is called, but I'm just taking that on my blush brush. And then next I'm going in with the Champagne Pop by Becca. I may have also mixed Pearl in there. I can't really remember. This was filmed a couple days ago. So maybe it's probably Champagne Pop and Pearl. That really gives you that nice luminous glow. If you are fair and Champagne Pop is just a little bit too dark, not like extra dark, but if you want it to be like really shiny, just mix a bit of Pearl in there and it's like, whoop-ham. And I put that everywhere because I was like, you know what, you're gonna glow today. You are gonna glow. And the foundation I wore was already glowy, so I mean, you don't have to do that if you don't want to. Next, I'm going in with a ColourPop Ultra Satin Lip. This is in the shade Molly, I believe. And it's a really cool toned purple. I don't know if it was the best decision. I just wanted to use it because I just got it. And I didn't know it was as cool toned as it is. But I think that probably a warmer toned lip or like a nude or like actually any lip color would go great with this. It's just the cool tone just looked a bit weird since the eye makeup was so warm. And so that's the look. Thank you guys for watching. I'll be back again with a new video next week. Let me know if you like it and subscribe. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.